Mia today. Obviously here we have a beautiful... My name is Liam. I'm joining Mia today. Obviously here we have a beautiful... My name is Liam. I'm joining Mia today. Obviously here we have a beautiful... My name is Liam. I'm joining Mia today.
What the fuck is that?
So obviously we have a beautiful... Hi, my name's James and I'm joining myself. Oh man. Sorry, I had to start with that because that's been a running joke that I just can't help myself with that. So obviously we have a beautiful... Hi, I'm James. I'm joining myself. Anyway, so now that we've got that over the way, welcome along to the Change of Faces podcast. We are at episode 3, and yes, it is another one of those times again where we're back in the hot seat. And of course, with me today is Dave Collins, who is currently mid-dinner because we are doing this. We're doing this on a Monday evening, and I've just literally finished my dinner. But Dave, do you want to tell everyone what are you currently eating right now?
Well, here's the thing. I don't even know. I don't think I see it in the camera. It's like chicken curry, whatever. But when I go cooking, I've started to realise it's very much like my DJ sets where I intend to make something, and then halfway through, I just decide to do something else. And that's what's happened here. I'll get you that again.
Yeah. So basically, the DJ never stops, including when you're cooking. Basically, that's what you're basically saying.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and I tell you, we've got it all tonight, folks. We've got we've got our typical goofs and gaffs with the things going on in the dance music spectrum. We've got a few things that we want to recap on just from some of our previous episodes. We've got a little bit of Dead Mouse ranting later tonight. We've got something to do with Sean Paul's tour or European tour that's got off to an interesting start. We've got other things. We're going to be going to the Sphere Las Vegas. So we've got something to talk about that there. We've got some more good news coming soon as well in the form of a new nightclub opening up in East London, which we're going to talk about a little bit more. We'll talk about Afterlife Mexico, or the lack of Afterlife. And then we're going to be talking about Ultra Music Festival that recently happened over in Miami. And then, fingers crossed, we're going to be having our first guest later this evening. I've just been speaking with him earlier. We're going to be hopefully scheduling in a quick chat with him towards the end. But of course, we are going to keep you posted all the way through this episode today or this evening. But yeah, what's been happening with Changing Faces? So obviously, I'm going to bring our Dave in here as well whilst he's having his dinner. But first of all, Dave, before we start, how's your dinner so far? Because obviously you've done a bit of mixing, but how's the taste? Does the taste any good?
It tastes good. I always mess up one thing I've noticed when I'm cooking. So this time it's the rice, which is not a uncommon fuck up for me. But yeah, the rice is a bit uncooked. But
the rice, it
is what it is. You can't have a perfect mix, as they say. So
no, you can't. No. Yeah. And what I was also going to bring you on to is obviously it's been a few weeks since we did the episode 2 of the podcast. But what's been going on over at Changing Phases Live? What's been going on over there since our last episode?
So we've had a new show on the station, which is Barcast or the Barcast. Really cool house music. We played the premiere show this Sunday just gone. And then, of course, if you weren't around for the last episode, Do It For Music has got a weekly show on there now as well.
Yep.
And it's been going really well. I think we've been doing it about just over a month now. So getting into the rhythm of things, learning how online streaming works and music copyright and such, right? But it's all good. It's all good. You're getting there. So, yeah.
Yeah, and for Farcast, we haven't actually done their broadcast yet, but they have officially joined, haven't they? Is that right?
We did their broadcast last night.
Oh, was it last night?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you could have fooled me. Oh, yeah, of course. It's a Sunday. It was a Sunday, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. This is why it's confusing, by the way, everyone, because we usually tape our podcast on a Friday. But in fact, actually, we're doing this on a Monday, so that's why it confused me. But no, that's that's who was it again?
It's Carlo V.
Carlo V. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, Carlo V. Yeah, no, some really good stuff to come from Farcast. So they are based in Sao Paulo in Brazil. So shout out to those of you tuning in or listening in from there, or anyone from Brazil for that matter. But yeah, we've got some great content coming from them. And we had Fabio, the guy who runs Farcast, in the artist name of Apple. We had him on the show, I think it was 199 of Changing Faces radio show, if I remember rightly. And he's a friend of Warren Bass as well, or he used to be called Warren Vino, but he's a good friend of them as well. So yes, shout out to the Farcast team and to Fabio as well. But Dave, I want to get us started with something that is ridiculous. It's ridiculous that it's even happened.
Exactly.
Because, do you know what? No, I'll tell you. We've been played. And I'm telling you now, and the worst person to be played is our DJ Dan Singh, God love him, who we keep talking about, but he's never been on the show yet. But we swear he exists. Dave, we've been played. I'm telling you now. So basically, I want to show you this. I'm just going to get this news article ready. And this is based on something that we spoke about in the previous episode. So get a look at this. Look, Ministry of Sound confirms significant damage caused by break-in an illegal rave at London club. So this was the original article, but yes, basically the previous topic of Ministry of Sound being broken into turns out to be fake. They were promoting a new clubbing night. Can you believe it? Dave Collins.
I'm just saying, I wasn't 100% on the ball with this, but I said in the last episode, if I was Ministry of Sound, I'd turn this into a clubbing brand, and I'd have a party in the Bugs.
Yeah.
And where are we now?
Well, as I'll mention it here as well. I can see our guest is here as well, but I'll just be. Oh, where's he gone? Where's he gone? Don't leave. Hang on, let me quickly message him now, actually, because I'm glad to hear that it's worked. Oh, there he is. Hang on, there you are. Okay. So yeah, but no, essentially, we covered this. Actually, do you know what? Let's just add him in now. Why not?
Yeah. Go for
there
it.
you go. Mr. Maldini is in here, sir.
What's up?
There he is. How are you, sir?
Yeah, all good. Thanks.
Oh, good man. Oh, hang on. I can hear some horrendous feedback. I think it's from you, Maldini.
It's from me, is it?
Yeah, I think so. You might want to look at them your speakers. Oh, not these technological issues.
Tell me about it.
Oh wait,
we love feedback, don't we?
Yeah. No, I think I can still hear myself. Well, whilst you're doing that, I thought I'd join you in on this anyway, just because we've only just got started with one of our first pieces that we're just talking about. But basically, we're all annoyed because in the previous episode, we were talking about Ministry of Sound being broken into, and it turns out to be fake. So, as it mentions here on the Mix Mag Instagram page, Ministry of Sound has announced that a recently alleged break-in an illegal rave at its London nightclub was a publicity stunt. The venue released a statement on March 21st, 11 days before April Fool's Day, claiming significant damage had been caused and that high-value equipment was stolen, while footage appearing to show the break-in was uploaded to socials 2 days previously. It has now been revealed the incident was staged as part of a marketing campaign with Lab 54, a pop-up event series with the mission statement of throwing parties anywhere but a club. Ministry of Sound will be teaming up with Lab 54 to throw a party in the toilets of its nightclub on May 4th. Ministry's group managing director, Caitlin McAllister, I think that is, said in the statement, there's an irony in a pop-up breaking into a club, but that's exactly the point. We need to bring new ideas to our spaces. Lab 54 founder Joe Gordon said, what better way for clubs to connect with DIY party communities than going back to their roots and pranking the online rave community? Maldini, you need to sort out those speakers ASAP because I'm listening to myself at this point.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Have you got any headphones?
Oh, where's he gone? Well, whilst Maldini's trying to sort that out, Dave, I want to bring you back to a statement here, which says there's an irony in a pop-up breaking into a club, but that's exactly the point. We need to bring new ideas to our spaces, and that would include the ladies' toilets of Ministry of Sound. Dave Collins, instant reactions.
It's certainly a concept, isn't it? It's sort of funny. Does this mean I can skip the line and just break an entrance into Ministry of Sound now and I go, I'm being, you know what I mean? It's like, you got a ticket? No, that's it anyway.
It makes you think though, like for ladies' toilets, like are they going to have bouncers outside the ladies' toilets now, checking for tickets for their party?
It's kind of funny though. Like when they said we want to do parties in places that aren't nightclubs, if that makes any sense. It's kind of funny because I know me and you've had this stuff before, and we've done like live events. We always look for places that aren't like traditional nightclubs, quote unquote. It's just something a bit different, a bit new. Like it's got its own identity outside of just being a club. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, this is it, you see. But I mean, it's so funny because when I was watching back episode 2, I was like, yeah, we're absolutely right. You know, breaking into a club, causing damage. Yeah, that's not good. Muy mal. But no, it's yeah, we've all been played. But poor DJ Dancing as well, because basically he obviously he had a giant like comments thing on this topic, and of course
the age like milk.
Yeah, yes. It's basically aged like milk. Maldini, welcome back to the show, sir. Have you had any luck with your no, I can still hear myself. Are you still looking for headphones?
No, I've got my headphones. Just can't get it to connect at the moment.
Right. Well, you carry on, sir. I'm gonna. Oh wait, no, I can't hear anymore. Oh, you've got yourself on mute. Yeah, keep yourself on mute, and then let me know when your headphones start working. We shall quickly carry on. But essentially, yeah, that was the update regarding to Ministry of Sound. They're quite incredible if you think about it. And one of the things we're going to quickly do now is we're going to quickly go to another update from. We're going to go straight over to Ibiza because once again, oh yeah, absolutely. We're going to go over to Universe Ibiza again because we just want to. I want your quick opinion,
bro. You know, I'm sort of hyped about Universe. I was looking into it today. The lineup this year.
Wait. No, you you wait, mate. You wait because I'm gonna show you now because this is the next update that we have here. So let me bring you on to this attention here. There's no real context. So Dwayne Muffin of who's one of the Ibiza locals often does bits of updates here. And here you can see he's got drone footage of the latest of Universe Ibiza as well. So for audio listeners who are unable to see what we're looking at, Dave, are we fair to say we're looking at a big white box?
Yeah, if you're listening to get on YouTube, get the video version. But yeah, it's a big lunchbox with a big ball outside of it. I don't know. How do you best describe it?
I mean, as far as updates are concerned, I would personally say, based on what we're looking at there's still quite a bit of work to do.
They'll do it. I
You
have
reckon?
faith. Mm-hmm.
But notice obviously they've kept the big sphere in the corner, haven't they? And it looks like they have completely rebuilt all the walls, and it looks like they have potential expansion to the south of the club. What do you reckon?
The club's already pretty big. Does it need expanding?
Well, I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, it's already, like you said, it's already gargantuan, but it does look like they've been using a significant amount of space to the south of it to conduct and continue their construction work. What do you think it's missing, Dave?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm going to unmute your mic, Maldini, and see how we're getting on over there.
Maybe it needs an ice cream stand. Any nightclub should have ice cream.
An ice cream stand?
Yeah. Honestly, it works.
Yeah, but how much is that going to be?
It doesn't really matter, does it? But I know Berkheim has one. So just put one here. It'd be fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, it'd be great as well.
I mean, it does seem like there's a lot of space to have an ice cream stand as well. But yeah, this is, actually the clock is ticking when it comes to like a major construction. And Maldini, unfortunately, he's having some technical difficulties with his headphones. His laptop cannot find them at the moment. Maldini, I'm going to give you that task of continuing your technical difficulties to see if you can get that up and running, because we've got a few things to go through. Unmute yourself for a second. I'd like your opinion on this club as well whilst you're looking at it, because what you're looking at is Universe Ibiza, and what we're looking at is a giant. Is it the biggest nightclub in the world? I think it is, isn't it? It's not.
No,
it's not. I thought it was.
Nightclub. Maybe a nightclub, yeah.
Yeah. So, Maldini, if you unmute yourself for 2 seconds, I'd like to get your opinion on the largest nightclub in the world and its current reconstruction. And I'd love to know what you think of their current construction progress. Do you think it's incredibly boring, or do you think it actually looks kind of exciting or a bit weird? Oh, Maldini, you're on mute.
You're on mute, dude.
Give it another go.
No, I was saying, can you hear me now?
Hey.
There we go.
Finally. Yeah, no, I was saying it looks massive. It's in Ibiza, is it?
Yeah. Would you go?
Would you go? Would I go? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It looks stunning.
Well, we've definitely got the approval of Maldini there. I would definitely request you put yourself on mute straight afterwards. That's what you should do. Pop yourself on mute every time you finish speaking, because I think that'd be the best way to sort out that feedback issue. But yeah, no, don't worry, Maldini. During all of this, we're going to be covering some of these topics. I'm going to get your what's the term? Your opinion, like what is it, Dave? When you get an opinion that's very neutral.
Mad take.
That's not a mad take.
Yeah.
No, there's a professional term for it. What is it? A non-biased opinion. A non-biased opinion. Yeah, Maldini.
We want mad takes, man.
No, we don't. No. I'm telling you. No, Maldini will ask for a non-biased opinion.
You already talked about playing Monopoly last week. I mean, come on.
Oh God, no, yeah, we're not going to cover that. No. Yes, yeah, that was another controversial topic. But yeah, so that essentially was Universe latest construction update. Dave, whilst you're eating your food, I need to show you something else now. Oh yeah, and I need to show you a bit of ranting from Deadmau5, which will garner your attention. Let me just quickly share my screen, because this was it's to do with Alpha Theta, but it's more like it's record box. No opinion. Wait, we're gonna look at it here. Look.
Yeah, you explain it first.
Oh wait, hang on.
Oh, and then it crashes. Nice.
This is such a dumb trend.
Huh. Wow. Okay, so hold up.
Right-clicking, entering as trash.
Wait. So if you don't use their shit crashes, right? Now I put it back. Oh, this is fucking genius. Your fucking application crashes if you delete this fucking shit. All right, okay, let's fucking rename this to fucking something else. Dot fucking old, whatever. Sure. Huh. Wow, what pieces of shit. Nice. All right, kids, here's the fix. We're going to go into our record box directory. We're going to right click this, go to show package contents, go to contents, go to resources. And this is the little bitch right here, groove circuit, blah, 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 whatever, samples.spp. Fucking trash that all the fuck. Bye. Then run record box.
So just to mute that very quickly, that is basically an issue or a known issue in regards to record box. Dave Collins, what's your opinion on that? Oh, actually, wait. Describe to audio. Just wait. No, describe to audio listeners what's going on.
I don't fucking know. That's the point. Like, I sort of know what's going on, but I don't understand why this is such a big deal. To be honest with you, but I mean, you're trying to describe what he's running into here.
Well, I mean, this is it. So basically, what is it called? It's the groove. They are they're the FX, aren't they? They are like they're calling the record box groove FX.
Yeah. So from what I understand, and it's a shame Dan's not here because he could probably correct me on a lot of this. Record box has some pre-built-in tracks, and it's called like House One, Garage One, things like that. And they're just little short loops to sort of demo the software. And I think he's getting like Deadmau5 here. He's getting pissed off that Record Box insists that these tracks exist in your collection. So he's trying to figure out a way to trick the software into sort of not including these demo tracks. But the software's coded in such a way where it tries to regenerate those files automatically when you launch the software.
Yeah.
And that I think that's all there is, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't really care one way or the other, right? But obviously he does quite passionately. So it's kind of funny watching this in motion.
And I want to bring your attention to the comment from Sherlock _ Stoned, who says Tractor is proven king once again. Dave Collins, what do you think?
Well, it took literally one video for the DJ application wars to start off again. You know what I mean? So I don't think Tractor is king once again. Unfortunately, it needs a lot of development. I do think Record Box is sort of becoming the standard, but it seems like a lot of people getting annoyed with sort of the lack of customizability in Record Box. And I mean, I sort of agree with that. You know my opinions on this, right? If you want to have something that just works the same way every single time, I think Record Box does that job. But if you want to customize it and do things your own way, maybe it's not as good as people, you know, maybe you have to go to Tractor to have that sort of customizability, you know? But I just think it's really funny how this little scenario has gathered so much like traffic on like Instagram and stuff, because if anyone else had this problem, no one would care. But because like everyone else has had it, everyone's going nuts, and I'm like, oh, dude, this must be so embarrassing for the software team that made this. Are they going to fix it or ignore him? You know what I mean? It's just kind of funny.
Well, this is it. You see,
Yeah, it's like CDJs have little bugs like this, but no one cares until a big name sees it, and then they complain about it, and then all of a sudden everyone hates the CDJ feature for that one reason, right? So to be fair, there's less issues with CDJs now than there used to be, but there used to be a few DJs having a go at them. I remember FLAC support being a big one. They didn't used to support FLAC files. A lot of people got annoyed at that, I'll tell you now. So
oh well, yeah, and this Instagram comment, which I thought was very relatable, at Mackenzie.b.w says, quote, "This is like when U2 had their album on everyone's phone."
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You can't
You
can't get rid of it.
That's exactly it.
I think everyone remembers that.
The thing I think is really funny though now is what's going to happen is people are going to try and find a workaround for this, which is essentially, you know, I suppose class this as a bug, right? Maybe an unintentional bug, but it's a bug. People are going to try and find a way around this by deleting files, and then Rekordbox is going to crash, and then they're going to blame Rekordbox for crashing, even though they've been deleting files from the software folder. And I'm like, oh man, like you can't win. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just relate so much because like I sort of I fix software for a living, and when I see stuff like this, I just think, oh man, I'd hate to be in that dev team, knowing that all the users are just deleting stuff randomly, not knowing how it works. You know what I mean? But see, if he takes ownership, and if it does break, he goes, you know what, my bad, I was pissing about it last night, delete files, and fair enough. But it never works that way, man. Someone's going to do something to it that makes it crash, and then they're going to say, oh, that Rekordbox is a piece of shit, even though they were the ones that made it crash in the first place, you know? I could speak a while on this, obviously.
Well, we've woken him up now, folks. Dave's had his dinner, so he's already wanting to like flip the table and everything, isn't he? But actually, this actually works well because Dave's in a rage now about Alpha Theta, aka Rekordbox, but that actually fits perfectly into the next bit now because we're all getting all aggressive right now because I'm going to show you a little bit of some highlights, if you like, of Sean Paul's European tour that's been kicking off lately. So there you go, Dave. So yeah, this was at 8th of the 4th, 2025 in Ireland. On one of his debut concerts. Can you see that very much?
Sort of. What's going on?
So for audio listeners, what we're seeing here, we're seeing a mass brawl happening in the crowd. Yeah. I didn't realize Sean Paul attracted these types of people, but apparently they did. So, man, how can I describe this for audio listeners? So while Sean Paul is trying to perform, what we're seeing here is a whole bunch of, so there's a bunch of lads kicking and punching each other. And then there's also quite a few girls like ragging each other's hair out by the looks of things. But again, Sean Paul, Dave, it's making people go crazy. Would you go crazy versus Sean Paul?
Oh, no.
No,
sorry. Yeah.
Would going to see Sean Paul make you want to tear a girl's hair out or to start punching aimlessly at some random lads?
I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. No. I mean, the big question here is: are they fighting because of Sean Paul, or are they fighting because they're not having a good time? And what's going on here?
Well, I just think surely, you know, all the bad habits of people in crowds, like we've all seen and done or know of them, like people who shove, people who are pushing, people who are, I don't know, maybe blocking people's views or whatever. Like all of these things are taken into consideration, but perhaps all the bad eggs were all in one basket area of the concert floor. What do you reckon, Dave?
You know, I mean, without going, I mean, I'm trying to sort of look at it with a bit of levity, but all right, there's a real big problem in the dance music world, and it's been getting worse and worse over the years.
Yeah.
And do you know what it is, Chang?
Level with me.
It's a lack of respect for your fellow raver. That's what it is.
Yeah. A lack of respect, eh?
A lack of respect. And I do think it's got to the point now where it doesn't feel like there's a sense of community like there used to be in a lot of ways. And I'm sure a bunch of old farts like me will agree, go, oh, yeah, it was great back in the day. But the thing is, I'm totally understanding that dance floors change and cultures change within the scene. But there's definitely a lack of respect, man, in certain crowds. And you know, when you see fights happening like that, to me, that says to me that the respect's broken down. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's your take? I mean, I say it with exhausted breath because there's not much more I can say than that, you know. And yeah, I almost haven't got the energy to sort of discuss that side of it much, but yeah.
Well, I would definitely be the one to agree because, yeah, some people, I guess some, not everyone, but some can forget to be a wee bit nice, you know. And I can definitely say, people can get very quickly fed up and agitated with others near them in a concert, and I get that because I think we all get it, you know. But like, I guess it's, I don't know, like some people are very consistently annoying in some concerts, right, Dave? Like, how many times have you been near someone who is like either using their elbows too much or they're just like, I don't know, how can I describe it? Like they're just pushing you around, you know?
Yeah. And I think, you know, when you're at a big festival and stuff, you are gonna lose out to some degree. Maybe someone will block your view, or maybe someone's gonna spill your drink or something, right? But I think there's always, at least I always like the sort of crowds where there's a bit of an understanding going on, and you go, yeah, okay, you know, I'll let you go past me, or you know, sorry for that, or a bit of like mutual apology going on, you know, amongst the crowd.
Exactly.
But when things like this happen, you start to think, gosh, is there really, like, what's happened to the dance music scene where you don't have that sort of natural sort of respect for each other, right? You know, when you see stuff like this happening, I just think, man, we've got to get back to that message of respecting each other on the dance floor a little bit, I think, because, I mean, it used to be there. It used to definitely be there. So, yeah. And like I said, I don't like saying this. It makes me sound a billion years old, right? And I feel so old saying this. But I really do think sometimes I look at that and I just sort of go, well, you know, at least...
Back in my day.
At least I never had to deal with that crap. You know what I mean? Like, that's the first thing that goes through my head. But, yeah.
Well, the one for me is, the big takeaway is obviously people have paid money to be at that concert and there they are, like, tearing each other's hair out or punching each other, you know.
It's bullshit, man.
Yeah. Let me quickly go through our sponsored break because we don't want to talk about any more fighting anymore. Because
no more fighting.
No more fighting. No. We're all about love here, aren't we? So, Dave, you finish your dinner whilst I quickly take over the whole screen for a second, and I'm going to tell everyone about our sponsor for this episode, which is basically me again. Because, hey, I mean, I've got stuff to sell, as does Maldini does here as well, which we're going to hear a bit more of later on. But I think his stuff looks a lot more attractive than me. Dave, do not delete that. I saw that. Don't delete it.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. I didn't know I was looking at that.
Yeah, no, Dave was just hovering over the advert text. I'm literally about to read it now. But anyway, so it just seems like the music keeps coming, but I swear this is just how the schedule is at the moment. Recently, we've heard of the latest collaboration between me and DJ Dan Singh with our debut production, Chicago. But on April 10th, I released my latest EP known as Tell Me Something, which was brought out courtesy of Deepwood Recordings. The 4-track EP bundle includes 2 of my original mixes, which are deep house styles and contain mixtures of brooding synth arrangements, a touch of piano as usual, and some swift, chilled crescendos for good measure. But that's not all, though. Shut up, Dave. But that's not all, though, because the release also includes some fantastic remixes from the likes of Pandani and our Vlad, aka Sarandub, and both have done memorable remixes on both original tracks, well worth the listen and to show your support. The EP is out now, available to stream and or download wherever you get your music from. Don't forget, if you want something mentioning, be it a product, a service, release, or whatever in our sponsored break, be sure to email us at hellochangingfaces@gmail.com. And that message also goes to you as well, Maldini, seeing as though you have Paloccini, which we will be discussing about a little bit later on. Dave Collins, I want to bring you in on the opinion of swift, chilled crescendos for good measure in the latest EP. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, for sure.
You like? Have you listened to it? Do you like it at all?
No,
What are you doing? Have you not listened to it?
No.
Oh my god! My freaking co-host hasn't even listened to our own sponsored material.
I'm sorry, man.
God, he's gonna have to go to jail here, isn't he? Hang on, sorry, I haven't got you on camera. I just want to check something here. Actually,
I will. I promise. I promise. I'll listen to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my goodness. I mean, I can forgive Maldini for not listening to my latest EP, which is to do with my advert. But yeah, Dave Collins, you're on the verge of being sent into exile. But no exile.
I lasted 2 weeks. You know, it's 2 episodes. Yeah.
Yes.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah. Before we get into the first bit of the news, it is worth mentioning that me and Dave are about to head out to Malta for 2 weeks for a holiday. We're going out on Monday 5th. So by the time you guys see this, I can't remember when this gets. When does this get uploaded? I can't remember.
This Saturday.
Oh, is it this Saturday? Oh, so okay. Yeah. So yeah, by the time, so some of you might tune into this by the time we're already out there. But yeah, no, we're very excited for that. But enough about Malta, because what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about the sphere, spherical, the spherical object that is the sphere, but we're talking about the sphere in Las Vegas essentially, and Wait, hang on. What am I talking about? We did not do the we didn't do the news jingle. Dave Collins, we still haven't done it yet. So should we do it now?
Yeah, have you got one?
No, we need to do it ourselves.
What do we agree on?
I don't know. Let's just start and do one quick.
News. The news of DJ stuff. There we go.
That made up jingle signals the beginning of the news. So yeah, so there is lots of news going on, and let us get us quickly started with, like we said, we're going to go to the sphere in Las Vegas. So let's get a quick load of this because there's all sorts going on here. So what is the news? So Tomorrowland and Insomniac Events join forces to create unique events for this summer. The credit goes to We Rave You and UnityXsphere.com. And the news is, in a project dubbed Unity Sphere, both festival and event organizers Tomorrowland and Insomniac Events have decided to collaborate on a festival which will take place at the Sphere in Las Vegas, which will take place on August 29th until the 31st during Labor Day weekend. In what has been described as a massive step for dance music by Instagram account We Rave You, Unity X Sphere website states, quote, Unity is a multi-sensory celebration of music and mind-altering visuals, a gateway to another world where reality blurs and the magic of Tomorrowland and Insomniac become one. Transport to a new dimension as you travel through Tomorrowland's enchanting themes of Planaxis, Adshendo, and Orbits, I think that says, and Insomniac's vibrant universes of Beyond, Nocturnal, Escape, Countdown, and EDC. Dave Collins, I want to bring you in on this straight away, and I want to re-highlight the quotes that says by We Rave You that this has been described as a massive step for dance music. Instant reactions.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. It's kind of funny. It's taken, I think, sort of a semi long time for dance music to get into the sphere, because I think they just tried to do like bands in there for a while, and ever since I saw that, I was like, man, can you imagine a rave in that place? It would be crazy as hell. And they're starting to do it. I mean, I hope to God they rip all the chairs out for these raves, because that's the one thing I hate the most, right? When you have a rave, but it's like a seated rave. Have you seen them? Mostly, you get it mostly in the States. Everyone sits down to watch like a DJ spin records, and I'm like, what? So like, I hope they just like get rid of the chairs and they make a big dance floor with a big dome and do it properly.
Well, I mean,
but since it's Tomorrowland, it's a good sign for sure.
I mean, it's more like a concert at that rate if there's chairs.
Well,
right?
yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, this is it. And they were having some bands play in this place, and when you go and see a band, there is seated sort of chairs and stuff. But I think seeing a band's a bit different from sort of going for a bit of a rave. You know what I mean? So. I think the concept's great. The venue's good if they can pull this off. They just need to. They need to get into the mindset of this is just going to be one big ass dance floor, right? And it'll be golden. It'll be good.
I want to get your opinion as well on what you think that it says. Unity is a multi-sensory celebration of music and mind-altering visuals.
Multi-sensory.
Multi-sensory.
It was like 4D or something, right?
I was just thinking, as it's multi-sensory, like think about all the senses: taste, smell. Is it going to be really smelly?
You're going to be able to taste the beats. It's like, no, this music's so nice.
Are you going to smell the sweat of the studio engineers?
Oh yeah, it does definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
But you know what? I did think that a little bit is, although it looks really cool, because it's just a big dome. What ventilation does it have? Does it have good ventilation, or is it just like one ginormous hot ball in there?
Do you know what? I mean, we've never been, so we can't really comment. But like, if anyone
honestly, I want to someone tell me what's it like, because what I was thinking, like, if you had like 5,000 people in that place, what would happen? Like, would it get too warm, or have they got decent vents? I mean, it isn't Vegas, so you'd think they'd have aircon all over the damn place in that thing.
Oh yeah, like for sure they're gonna have that. Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of aircon in there, because you like aircon's everywhere in like all Las Vegas resorts and so on. But it is definitely a sight to see. No lineup has been announced yet, by the way, folks, for this Unity X Sphere collaboration. So but cool, obviously that is TBC.
I would love to see a brand take that over that sort of like has the crap factor to it. Do you know what I mean? So they'll just be doing a DJ set, and then someone just puts up Star Wars halfway through a set or something like that, right? Or they just put something like Dragon Ball Z on during a DJ set, and you just watch a bit of Dragon Ball while you're raving or something,
Well, I'm sure like that would get a lot of people going, that wouldn't it? Like, people love to see stuff like that, don't they?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, maybe in this next place they can do the very same, because from the Sphere Las Vegas, we are now going to go to East London, and we got good news again, Dave, because and we love good news, don't we? Because it's we love it, don't we? Because it's very rare that you get good news, but it keeps going like a freight train. But essentially, East London, and we're talking about Shoreditch, and we're talking about a new nightclub being unlocked, should you say? Pardon the pun here. But the new nightclub unlocked, and that opened on March 29th.
I didn't realize that was the name. I thought you meant it opened, it unlocked. Sorry.
Well, the doors were
too much
unlocked.
Oblivion, obviously. Yeah.
Someone's been playing too much Oblivion remastered, haven't they? Guilty as charged. But no, essentially East London, and we're talking about Shoreditch and a new nightclub opening up on March 29th. Let me get this. Oh, hang on a second. I need to get the article for this as well. But that's a quick snapshot of the new club. And credit has gone to Michael Lawson of Resident Advisor. Michael Lawson bringing us some of the good news to this episode, as he writes about the new club with his words, stating, quote, Unlock Shoreditch is a multidisciplinary event space and creative hub. This weekend's opening party will be headlined by Australian artist Tobias. Other upcoming bookings include Nuria, Jotty, and Mason Collective. Located on Curtin Road, Unlocked has taken over a vacant warehouse space and former squat rave. It recently hosted a London Fashion Week event, and the venue's full program will run from autumn. So, of course, the news is never complete without first going to you, Dave. The good news is that we're getting a new nightclub in East London. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, cool, man.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's a new venue, yeah.
It's unlike as we said, it's not every day that clubs are actually opening. It's usually the complete opposite. But I mean, I've noticed, and I'm sure I don't know whether you've noticed as well. But what's the deal with red LED lights?
What do you mean?
Because I see it everywhere, and they are in almost any club that you walk into now. DC10 red LED lights. This place red LED lights. Like correct me if I'm wrong, but the gallery, that club we spoke about earlier in the first episode or second episode, that had red LED lights. Uno Village, where we're going to very, very soon in Malta, is all full of red LED lights. Why red LED lights, mate? Tell me.
It's the coolest light. It's like
Akasha and Ibiza had red LED lights. Riddle me that, Dave.
It's just the coolest light.
How?
It's like I said, it's like a Sith nightclub. It's brilliant.
I mean, there is something about, well, why not blue?
Nah. I mean, blue's had its time, but now it's time for red.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of like...
I don't know what the shit I'm talking about, dude. I'm just going with this.
Yeah, but Dave, I'm telling you, what about do you think it's a bit samey though if everyone's using red LED lights, or does it? Or
you know what I miss, and I understand to some degree why people got a bit annoyed with this, because you had a lot of people cheaping out on lights, getting cheap stuff. What happened to a good old fashioned stonking laser, man? Like a really good, powerful laser. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like lighting has to be taken into consideration, but obviously, I guess for these spaces, we're talking about like with where you see the red LED lights, it's always corridors, chill out areas, maybe the areas where the bar is. But yeah, that was one thing I wanted to bring on to you, just simply because as soon as I saw that, I was thinking it looks kind of like the other place we spoke about. And then on top of that, I thought, actually, it kind of looks like Uno Village. And then I thought, you know what? It kind of looks like a lot of other places just because of those red LED lights. But there you go. But the red, well, we're going to finish with red LED lights. But one place you're not going to see red LED lights is at Afterlife in Mexico. Because, news obviously comes to us in a good form, but it's also in a bad form as well. But take a look at this here. So Afterlife Mexico Festival is officially cancelled. So this comes courtesy again of We Review and Nick Yopko of EDM.com. The debut Afterlife Festival in Mexico has officially been cancelled due to what Afterlife state are technical and licensing issues. Nick Yopko of EDM.com writes, quote, The news arrives just over a month after the festival's announcement. Despite Afterlife's Anima and Imrak, Imrak missing the event in the Mexican capital, they will still be performing in Barcelona in June for the remaining leg of the Afterlife Festival. Releasing a statement on social media, organizers cited unforeseen technical and licensing issues with the venue. Hipódromo de las Américas, preventing the fest from taking place in May. It's worth noting that the statement stops short of mentioning another date, and that the minds behind Afterlife Festival have, quote, explored every possible solution, so a rescheduled date seems unlikely in the short term. And then another statement in the quote says, we explored every possible solution, but the situation prevents us from delivering the experience you deserve, the statement reads, end quote. Dave Collins, licensing issues and technical licensing issues. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a pain in the ass. I'm not gonna lie. But I wish I wish everyone got tickets, gets a refund, and I hope they manage to do it next year. Basically, right? It's don't give up, guys. Bounce off this.
What are your thoughts as well on what do you actually what like my thoughts are? What do you actually think is going on here? Is it quite literally the Hippodromo de las Americas saying we don't want your what could it be? Because everyone will always use technical or licensing issues. Maybe not licensing issues, but technical issues definitely. But what do you think what do you, like from the top down? What do you think is like the real issue going on here?
I have no idea, honestly. Licensing issues could mean many things, right? It could mean how loud it is. It could mean licensing for selling drinks at the bar. It could mean licensing, for safety licensing. Like everyone assumes it's just music licensing, but a venue has licenses for everything, right? So one of those things fail, and you can't have the gig anymore, basically, right? So there's that side of it. The technical side of it, maybe the speakers blow up. I don't know. Right? There's so many things to sort of think about. But what are the comments saying?
Well, perfect timing, Dave. That was almost self-directed. I want to point you to the attention of a comment here by Krupa Music, who says, "Quote 100%." You're right, mate.
Yeah, sorry.
He says, Krupa Music. He says, "Quote 100% not enough tickets sold. So unfortunate."
Right. Yeah, and you can tell when a festival hasn't sold enough tickets because they start panicking in the last couple of weeks, and they've got a really hard decision to make. Right? Do they push through it anyway and potentially run it at a loss, or do they cancel the entire thing and cut their losses right? Before it even begins. So.
Or additionally, Instagram commenter Melvitar DQ says BS.
BS.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it BS? Is it still going to happen? Or the reasons are BS?
Or Emil Angel 24 says, "Can we stop with this annoying and boring trend already? Please, even the times when dubstep was at the peak, it was better." Or peak, I think you're supposed to say.
I honestly don't know a lot about Afterlife, to be honest with you. What sort of festival is it?
Well, it's the brand and record label of Tale of Us. So this is the controversial topic that we've spoken about before, Dave, where it's I'm going to say it's techno, but the techno purists are going to crucify me for that. But others would call it melodic techno. And then Dave, you would maybe argue that it's like soft trance, but people would also crucify you for saying that.
What kind of worms? I will say this. I get the feeling that maybe techno is imploding a little bit at its own sort of big-headedness. Do you know what I mean? Just what you described then. It's not this sort of techno. It's that sort of techno. Who cares? You know what I mean? If it just have fun with what it is. I actually think like this has been happening a bit with techno recently, and it's coming out of this sort of this drum code phase, and it's split off into a million different directions, and everyone's getting like very specialist into what type of techno the techno is. And more, I'm just sort of like, I don't really care what you think it is, so long as you think it sounds cool. And yeah, I don't know. What's your opinion on that? I mean, because I do think it's going through a bit of a rocky time with sort of ultra sort of specialist sort of genres, right?
Yeah, I mean, I will definitely say that from the music that I hear for Afterlife, it is the lines are a bit blurred because to me it sounds quite like progressive house as well, or what progressive house is right now. And again, people would argue that as well, but that's just what it sort of sounds like to me. But then again, a really good true story about interpretations of genres is quite literally in my ad read of our sponsor Break, which is where I'm talking about my recent release, Tell Me Something. I call it deep house, but I literally sent this using a Submit Hub for those who know what that is. It's where you can basically submit your music to a bunch of curators and so on. I had feedback, right, from a group of curators, basically, and every single one said something along the lines of, I was a bit confused about how you've labeled this type of music, because I thought it was, and then they basically said a completely different genre than what I've put it as, and every single one was completely different. So that kind of just goes to show, right, Dave?
Yeah. I mean, we said this before as a joke. You put deep at the end of anything, and everyone thinks it's great all of a sudden, right? But yeah, it's totally a thing, man. And I think genres stop caring after a while. Once they get to a point where every single new release is a different genre, and at that point, everyone just stops caring what genre it is, and they just enjoy it for what it is. Personally, I class sounds almost like labels. You know what I mean? I don't class it like it's this sort of techno or this sort of house. I say, yeah, okay, you can tell it's from that sort of label, or it's got this sort of vibe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way I think it sounds better, right? Just like Motown sounds like Motown, right? It isn't sort of, because it sounds like it's from that label. Do you know what I mean? And that's sort of like the originator of using that as methodology. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, what were we talking about? I was talking about genres. We've talked about whether or not this festival is phoning it in. I don't know, man. Maybe they didn't sell enough tickets. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's our very own Dave AI getting the nutshell in there. If you are to search what's going on with Afterlife Mexico, but unfortunately, yeah, for those in Mexico, unfortunately there will be no Afterlife Festival. But here's hoping they will be rebounding or at least refunding.
Yeah, I hope they try again. Right. Every festival.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Now, we're going to then now move on to another festival, but we're actually going to talk about a festival that already happened. And did it go well? That remains to be seen, because what I want to show you here, Dave, is I want to show you a collection of clips here from social media of Ultra Music Festival, or what I describe as Ultra Chaos. Maybe that's a bit of a clickbaity title, but whatever. Ultra. No, Dave, let me tell you.
Chaos.
Ultra Chaos. What went down?
That's a name for a compilation. That I love it.
Absolutely. So what went down in Miami? So I'm going to quickly show you a load of clips here of some of the things that went on here. I think some of these do have audio as well. But let me just quickly show you some of these, because they were shocking beyond all description. So let me show you this one here. Look, so this fine gentleman here.
It looks like Creamfields.
Would you expect that in Miami, Dave?
Yeah, they're downpost. You look so upset.
Well, you would be, mate. I know I would be.
Don't you remember Creamfields whenever it rained, it just meant everyone just got more off their face, sort of thing? It was just sort of. Do you remember the guy swimming in the mud like he was a mermaid? Then again, we sort of own that. In England, we own the whole if it rains, just roll with it type of mentality. You know what I mean?
Now, I want to show you this as well. This is crazy.
What happens?
So this is the end of the video, but we'll loop back to the beginning.
I've been there before. Very fun shows.
For audio listeners, what we're looking at here is we're looking at Ultra Music Festival in Miami, and we're looking at some severe rainstorms. And how that is, like that's a few inches, isn't it? This is crazy. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what we're looking at here. We're looking at. I'm hoping they're not just random people, but I think they're like crew members doing some last minute maintenance work to one of the tents.
I don't know if you remember this, but I think it was Greenfields 2012. it was the year they got the second day cancelled. Do you remember? And we woke up and the tent turned into a boat, essentially, and we were sort of floating around on it.
Oh yeah.
The night before, we went to see the Chemical Brothers, and there was literally pillars holding up that tent that were falling over because it was that muddy and wet. And I remember we went to see the Chemical Brothers, and it was just like stupid. And then we went to the next tent to see Marcus Schultz, and everyone was raving round a bog in the middle of the floor. And people were getting stuck. I visibly remember someone trying to walk through that tent, and they got stuck, and a bunch of people had to pull them out. And the wellies were stuck in the middle of this raving quagmire, like swamp. I so wish I recorded some of this, mate. It was the most random thing I ever saw. But
Mate,
yeah, I mean, I look at that, right, and you know, it is kind of deep water, but it's also very clean. You know what I mean? There's no mud or anything like that, or anything. You know, it's just there's water.
Well,
And it's probably pretty warm as well. So I wouldn't really give a shit personally. I'd probably still rave.
I'm not. Well, I mean, we know anyway, just based on like, you know, when it's like you said, when it's bad weather over here, when we were going to Creamfields, we just sort of got on with it, I guess.
Go with it. Yeah, and I think that's sort of just because we're used to it. To be honest with you,
But
like I said, that lad who was a bit sort of bummed out that it was raining, I can guarantee you, if that was in Creamfields, there would have been mud all over his face, and he would have been diving in it like he loved it. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah. So.
Well, all I'll say is that obviously it wasn't the be-all and end-all for Ultra Music Festival. Those that attended did get a good time out of it, despite some of the weather. But what we will say is, or what I will read from here, Ultra Music Festival 2025 was one to remember for mixed reasons for those who attended and performed. The festival was troubled with severe rainstorms and had to close temporarily while storms battered Miami. DJ Mag article on this subject wrote, quote, Ultra Music Festival's 25th anniversary edition has been temporarily closed due to severe weather. On the final day of the festival, heavy rain and thunderstorms in Miami, where the event is taking place in Bayfront Park from Friday 28th to Sunday 30th of March, caused localized flooding. Quote, due to weather in the area, the show is being temporarily paused, a post from Ultra's official Insta page said. Please seek shelter. Additional information to follow, end quote. Amidst the weather chaos, the festival didn't stop upselling their VIP packages, which also caught social media attention at the sheer price hikes for each of them. And I'm going to quickly show you now because I actually forgot to get the link.
What do you get a VIP first of all?
Wait a second. You need to see it first. In fact, actually, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this properly because the print's quite small.
Oh yeah, bring that bigger. Holy shit, 425k? You nuts?
Right. Well, yeah. Let us get into this. We're gonna get into this. So, oh wait, I liked it. I don't like that. So basically, what we're looking at here, it's you've got a bottles menu, and I can see here Dom Perignon,
fucking bottle menu,
750 mil, and is that?
It is ultra at the end of the day, isn't it? So.
Yeah. This is quite a lot. Is that
Dom Perignon one at a fucking rave pit? I mean, come on, dude. All right.
Different variations of Moe and Chandon as well, Dave. And yes, as you can see, you've got a bottles package as well. As you saw, the highest price one is titled "Fuck You Money," and it is $425,000. And wait, hang on a second. That gives you. Okay, I need to really put my face really close to the screen here. So just 2 seconds, I'm about to read this. I swear that says 250 Moët Chandon Nectar Imperial Rosé Pharrell Williams edition, 100 Dom Perignon Brut Luminous, and 100 Dom Perignon Rosé Luminous. Dave Collins, are you going straight to the hospital when you drink all of that?
Can you send me a link to that and I'll zoom in and I'll let you know what it says.
Well, it's in the document, mate.
I'm just trying. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, click that and have a quick read. So, yeah, we're talking about
the highest package is "Fuck You Money" for 425k. It's Mon Chandon Nectar Imperial Rosé, the Pharrell Williams edition.
Oh, hell yeah. Pharrell
100
Williams.
Dom Perignon Brut Luminous and a 100 Dom Perignon Rosé Luminous. I don't know if I'm saying this right. This is it's kind of amazing looking at all the names of these menus. So the highest one's called Fuck You Money. There's one here called Disco Made Me Do It. There's one called Cowboys versus Aliens. I don't know what the fuck that is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's one just called Hell Yeah, Brother. And it's just 6 Dom Perignons for $7,000.
$7,500 for 6 bottles of, what was it? Dom Perignon Luminous.
Yeah.
Now, this actually is going to be brought into a context. Well, I'm actually going to use this a little bit later on in the interview with Maldini as well, because this goes into a good conversation about, well, value for money and branding. But I'm going to keep hold of this post, and we'll come back to that in a bit. But we've got more on this as well. So other memorable highlights was the debut of Hardwell's new track Sanctuary, along with Armin van Buuren's set, which he described as having 100% of his own productions. It didn't stop there either. Carl Cox also premiered How New Live Show at Ultra. I don't know what I've written there. Describing his aspirations of the crowd to be mayhem and chaos. Finally, the act most spoke about was Skrillex's main stage performance, which was his first in over a decade and included old classics and some new productions, which had everyone going mad. And I've got a link here to it as well, just so we can get a quick grasp as to what went on here.
Brought new stuff out.
Oh yeah, he's got a whole new album now, mate, and everything. So yeah, so essentially, Skrillex really did blow everyone's minds with this set, and as you can see, there are quite a lot of jumping up and down from various performers as well. Quite a few people in the comments as well, also mentioning or highlighting this breathtaking performance. At Fresh New Tunes says his set was honestly one of the best ones I've heard in a while. I really hope it'll be uploaded on YouTube so we can rewatch that magic. DJ Saroni 92 says, and what a return it was. Welcome back, King. TK 94 says top 5 best Ultra sets ever. Afrojack saying he's the GOAT. Yeah, a lot of people were absolutely loving all of this and what he was able to provide. But essentially, Dave, I want to just quickly go back to you. So obviously, Ultra Music Festival, so for those that don't know, we're talking about a huge 6-day festival. It goes over 2 weekends, if I remember rightly, at Bayfront Park in Miami. Now, in my opinion, I'm not going to lie, that when it comes to a festival like this, obviously you can't guess on the weather, but my immediate thoughts or aspirations for attending something like this is to obviously make sure that it's good. It would be great weather, and bit of and just partying in the sun. But obviously, as you saw in some of those clips earlier today or earlier before, bad weather.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't quite work out. But we had that at Unknown. So
yeah, we had that at Unknown Festival as well. And yeah, so essentially there was lots to remember about, and there was definitely ups and downs for this. Like you mentioned in the other clip in regards to that chap who was looking very sad when it was raining. Did you also notice he was on an RV and not in a tent?
Oh man, don't get me started on that. What do you think about that? I think it loses the spirit.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. This is it. You see, yeah. Essentially, this is what went
I just
down.
think it shows that American festivals are far more wealthy than UK ones, basically, right? So I think that's the way it goes down. But yeah.
Yeah, all we can say is that for us being veterans of UK and other international festivals in and around Europe mainly, but yeah, for us, we've came a long way from spending our days in a sweaty tent in Creamfields, where basically it was cold at night, but absolutely baking hot in the morning because the sun would shine through the tent and then it would warm everything up on the inside, and you've got everything closed. So you'd have to unzip yourself and like gasp for oxygen, basically.
And then for breakfast, you'd have a warm Carling or Carlsberg.
Or a Carlsberg in your case, Dave. I remember that well.
We smuggled in like 30 cans of Carlsberg, and we
your breakfast. If you didn't want to pay extortionate prices, you'd basically be having your breakfast, which would be some form of alcohol which you've snuck into the festival, or you've just got like random snacks like chocolate or whatever. Just it's a lot different over in Ultra Music Festival. One of the things I wanted to quickly ask you, Dave, is there was a comment on one of these. I'm going to quickly find it again. Give me 2 seconds because I saw it before. I think it's here. Hang on, I'm just looking at this one. Here we go. So, I want your opinion on this comment. So, at Alexis_table says, quote, "Doesn't Ultra check the freaking weather beforehand to make sure it's perfect conditions?" ?
Well, maybe they do, but it's the weather.
What are your thoughts on that?
You can tell she doesn't live in the UK. I can tell you
but,
that. Like, the weather was the weather. Like,
to rephrase it though, they've got super high production stages, tents, and so on and so on. Should they be doing more?
What, invent a weather control machine? I don't understand.
Like, should they be doing more, like having additional measures in place in case of rainstorms? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's from what I understand, Ultra takes place in the city, doesn't it? It's not like it's in the field or anything like that. It's literally a concrete festival, right?
Well, it's in the park, but it's right in the middle of a city, yeah.
But it's the park's like manufactured. It's not like natural, if you know what I mean, right? So it's probably very flat for starters. Do you know what I mean? And as far as drainage is concerned, they're limited by where it is. Do you know what I mean? So a good example of if you do a festival in a field, if they can drill holes in the ground to basically try and get it to drain more water if it does rain, right? I think in a situation like this, you've just got to make sure where you host the festival has appropriate drainage, and that's really down to the design of the venue, right? And it probably rains so little that it's not even worth doing. Do you know what I mean? It might rain like that once a year, maybe. I don't know what the weather climate's like, but you've got to consider how much money it would take to put in like drainage countermeasures for extreme scenarios like this, and how often it does actually rain. You know,
I mean, one of the things would it be drainage to prevent flooding? Do you think that would be a thing that they could have done better, or do you think it would be a case of just simply having walkways where it's all covered for people, or do you think that's completely over the top? What do you think?
Yeah, it works, walkways, but you got to remember that from what I saw the footage, it wasn't exactly muddy. It was just water. Do you know what I mean? So it was literally just drainage issues from what I could understand.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, if we look at, if we take another quick look at it here, quite significant buildup of water on the ground. But then again, people could maybe argue, like you said as well, Dave, how often does it flood in Miami? I mean, it might flood often. I don't know.
It's literally clear water. You can see through it, right? It's not like it's mud or anything like that. So, putting something on top of it is probably not worth doing. You need to drain it, right? And there's a few ways of doing that, right? I suppose the festival could put countermeasures in place to help the drainage, right, and things like that. But again, like, how often have they done this and it's not been like this? Do you know what I mean? So I can see it from two angles, right?
Yeah, I mean, I will say on record that obviously I don't think many people like it when you're at a festival and it rains. You know, I'm definitely one of those in the camp of I'd prefer if
Yeah.
it didn't rain, you know?
You prefer if it didn't, but it depends how you embrace it, right? And I think people go one or two ways. Either they get devastated or they just go, yeah, fuck it. Let's just go
Yeah,
and party. You know what I mean? And I respect that second mentality. You know what I mean? Because it's don't let it ruin everything just because there's a bit of rain. I mean, the festivals aren't even out in the open. They got cover, you know. So who cares? So
yeah, that's usually what would be the main the main takeaway if you like for Ultra Music Festival. But however, for those of you who are interested in attending Ultra Music Festival, I think most people are still recommending it, and it is still one of the go-to festivals, especially in the dance music circuit or global circuit, if you will, in March time. But we're now going to move on to our very first guest, and unfortunately, Mr. Maldini has still got technical issues, so we're going to do this real old school way. So we're going to be bringing him in. Maldini, are you ready, mate? I think he can hear us. Yes, he is. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he's giving us a thumbs up. So, Maldini, what we're going to do, as mentioned before, we're going to bring you in. Keep yourself on mute. I'm actually going to literally add you in now. I'm going to keep you on mute, and I'm going to say a few nice things about who you are and what you're doing and what you're up to. And then I'm going to come to you with some questions, and you can unmute yourself, and then you can mention it as well. Is that all right? It did just occur to me you are on mute, so you're not going to respond. But anyway. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so Maldini Francisco, welcome along to the show and welcome on to Change Faces podcast. So essentially, who is this chap here? Who is Maldini Francisco? So Maldini Francisco is the chap behind the clothing brand Paloccini. Am I saying that correctly, Maldini? Paloccini? You are. Okay, good man. Okay, so let me quickly give you a quick rundown into Mr. Paloccini here. So this is actually from your website as well, because I think it's perfectly written. So Maldini Paloccini Palhares, a vision born from art, nature, and resilience. From a young age, Maldini Paloccini Palhares was captivated by the power of clothing brands and how they shape the world around us. He saw fashion not just as a trend, but as an influential force in modern society. Born to Paula and Domingos in Luanda, Angola, Maldini's artistic journey began with the raw beauty of nature. He was inspired by the expansive blue skies filled with whimsical clouds, the majestic mountains of Huambo, where the air felt like royalty, and the crashing waves against an overloaded truck fleeing the chaos of Angola's civil war. These powerful sights, sounds, and experiences in his early years planted the seeds of creativity that would grow into a vision of design and expression. You have stated here, as an avid observer who learns to dream, quote, you said, Maldini said, I've always admired the expression of art in things. As a young boy, I would often gaze into the distance for ages, observing the beautiful rows of dark-leafed trees, the unmovable mountains that withstood time's ultimate tests through gushing winds, and the manner in which every living thing carried itself as it fulfilled its purpose in the hypnotic rhythm that we call life. I love nature so much, it does something to me on the inside. It allows me to take part in its dormant state of tranquility and eternal peace. With every session, I'd be left in awe by the different patterns, texture, and size that the divine design consisted of, whilst all the more developing the mechanism of inspiration in my mind's eye, the portal of creativity, end quote. There was another bit I was going to say here. As Maldini's social world started to come together, he set off on a journey to find his true calling. He dipped his toes into a variety of industries, searching for that one passion that would bring him true fulfillment. But none of them felt like the perfect fit, nothing warm enough to dive into and swim in for life. I'm going to skip this bit. After facing a life-changing challenge, Maldini found himself standing at a T-junction, no longer burdened by the need to fit into the expectations of others. He was free to shape his own future and create his own path with a clean slate in the canvas of his mind. In the stillness of his thoughts, a new dream began to take shape. fueled by a passion for self-expression and creativity. He dove into the world of design, crafting his very first collection of t-shirts, socks, and scarves in 2012. Every piece was brought to life with meticulous care as Maldini focused on capturing the essence of branding and infusing each garment with his unique vision. And this is another key bit I want to also highlight as well. So where we stand today, Paloccini stands for more than just fashion. It's a conversation starter, a confidence booster, and a whole load of vibe. We're here to shake things up, ditch the dull, and serve up statement pieces that turn heads and spark joy. Forget the rules. Our designs are all about fearless self-expression, bold creativity, and embracing what makes you, you. With top-notch craftsmanship and an obsession with quality, we create pieces that make you feel unstoppable. Maldini, I don't know who wrote that for you or if it was yourself, but I thought that was a joy to read and hopefully a joy for you all to listen.
I was like, ditch the door. Hell yeah. I like that. I like that quote.
Absolutely.
That's bangers.
Let me be the first one to state that whilst I was having a quick look at your website for Paloccini, I'm just going to quickly share my screen because it's actually in relation to what's in the background there. This bag, I saw this and I was like, oh, damn, that is nice. That is a nice bag. Like, I was like, damn, I will say on first thought when I saw this was it looks expensive. Maldini, how much does this cost?
Oh, that's $750.
I'm assuming that's 700, not £7.
Not £7. No.
Yeah. So that doesn't surprise me because it looks expensive, but it looks great. Like that's a damn good piece, and I can see that in the background as well for you there. Hang on, can I select you here? Put you here. There we go. Look, yeah. So there you go. I can see that in your background there, and what's one hell of a piece. But I want to quickly fire you over some questions about you, sir. So we may have already covered this in that blurb before, but let me quickly start by asking you, what was the original inspiration to get into fashion? Obviously, we mentioned about nature, your surroundings from your home, but what was the original inspiration to get into fashion design?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. As you went through the website, I've always been a creative type of person. You see, throughout the years, I've gotten into a couple of creative endeavors, but none of them really felt like it would be something that I would work on it wholeheartedly. And so I love fashion. I love looking sharp, so sharp that I'd be cutting people's eyes when they look at me. You know them ones. But fashion. It's amazing to me how fashion can become a tool of empowerment for people. Like when you put on something and it makes you feel good, that changes your mood. It changes your vibration. It transforms your way of seeing things. And so, that takes me back to when I was growing up in Hackney, back in the day. It was pretty much all about, maxing your sex appeal, maxing your looks, maxing pretty much everything, by
I never had to hear that. I just say I just accepted the way life was,
Shut up, Dave. What are you doing? What are you saying that for?
No, you look good. So just through your Air Force Ones, your hats and whatnot, and so I wanted to give people that I wanted to help people feel good, by giving them um, by giving them, by sharing with them my creativity, really. And so that's where it pretty much stemmed from.
Yeah, and let me quickly ask you to put you on mute whilst I go to the next question, because that was very beautifully put. And one of the other things I wanted to ask you as well, actually, because you're absolutely right in the sense of the definitely when you put something on a piece of clothing, it definitely changes your mood. I'll definitely agree with that. But I want to also get your answer on this as well. Your earliest memory of owning or judging a piece of clothing. Go.
Do you know what? Me and my laptop, we're gonna have a word later. I have no idea why it's just not been picking up my headphone. But anyways,
Yeah, well, hang on. You're a
earliest.
fashion designer, not a computer expert, so don't worry.
Yeah, no, exactly. Earliest memory. So when I was about 5 or 6 years old, my mom bought me um, this little um loafers, and they were brogues. They were so stunning, so amazing. I would, do you know when you get something new, you don't want to use it, you don't want to wear it. You're just there, like you cherish it so much. So I would just look at it every day, um, and it's something that really stuck with me. I loved it, and so that kind of got me thinking. Oh, I would love to make my own. I would love to, come out with make my own shoes. I had back in the 90s, I had this little denim jacket. Denim was pretty much like the staple of the 90s back then, and my mom would dress me up. We would go on photo shoots. The the little pair of loafers would make me feel so confident that during the photo shoot I'd stick my tongue out, you know. It was so amazing, and so that's pretty much where I sort of like where I've sort of started judging, started looking at how clothing works and building up my own tastes, seeing what's good, what I like and what I don't like. It's been a journey.
Yeah, let me put, perfect. I tell you what, we're doing this so well. I was just about to ask you then, but yeah, perfect. Well done, mate. No, because actually, what I'm going to say as well is, I don't know why, the thing that came to my mind first was when you mentioned the jeans in the 90s, I remember for me, Dave, I don't know if it was the same for you as well, but whenever I had jeans as a kid, if they got all roughed up or whatever, my mum would always get like these patches of like random like cowboy drawings and then sew them on like over the holes and stuff like that, just to keep the wear up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know whether like your mum did this as well, but I always thought that was so
cowboy
cool.
pants.
No. Like they were
like you had jeans, but it's for like cowboy patches.
Yeah, you had like these. They were like stamps. They were kind of like stamps. They had like these little fabricated drawings, and like my mum would sew them in to like cover over patches and holes and stuff. But as a kid, I always thought that was like, wow, that's so cool. But Maldini, I want to get back to you very quickly with my next question, because I'm often interested in this, in the sense of when going to like in different situations. For example, you go to a restaurant, or a fairly nice restaurant, or you go to a bar, or in our cases, like if you go to a club or something, people are making various choices for their fashion. But what I want from you though is, what in your opinion are some fashion faux pas? Like, what is an absolute no-go?
Yeah, amazing question. Well, ultimately, it would come down to you, feeling confident in what you're wearing. But there are certain things that you just can't do, you know. So one of these things would be dressing appropriately for for the settings that you're going into. You don't want to be going into a club, all suited and booted. It's just, it's not gonna, you're not gonna look good. You got your tie swinging out. And in the same instance, in the same example, in the same note, it's like, if you're going to a corporate environment, or you're going to have a nice dinner, as you put it, you might want to dress a bit more casual. So, dressing for the occasion is definitely something that you got to be aware of.
Is it sort of bad that, like, I have the same outfit for pretty much most situations? I sort of take the Steve Jobs approach, I just put the same shit on every day.
You do?
And it sort of works mostly.
As long as you're confident,
Hey, that's what it works.
Hey, that's you. Rock it, do you? But just going back to that, there's certain things that would be a no-go. Wearing white socks.
Yeah.
With a dark suit.
I need to check it. Am I wearing white socks? No, I'm not wearing white socks.
Have you got white socks there?
No, I don't. Dave, you wearing white socks?
I am, yeah.
Oh, Dave! Oh, come on!
Come
on, man! You do wearing socks? White socks?
Does he?
Come on, man!
No.
Someone call the cops.
Like I said, ultimately it comes down to your personal preference, your style, what you're into. But another one would be the fit, isn't it? You don't want to wear something that's too tight. Funny enough, the other day I was walking down the road, and I was walking past. Someone was coming towards me, and this is not something that I usually pay attention to, but this guy's jeans was so tight. His oranges and banana were bulging out, pretty much. And it got me thinking, what in the world, man? What's going on here? These guys' jewels are suffocating.
Those poor boys,
Those poor boys. Yeah. So basically, what we got from Maldini: no white socks and no super skin tight jeans where you can see your junk.
Look after your bollocks. That's what I got from that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you wouldn't want your outfit to be too baggy either. Just the right fit will do it.
Well, let me put yourself on mute now, because what I'm going to ask you now is, so in a hypothetical sense, right? So we were briefly touched on, those who go to a club, but so if we put ourselves in this scenario now that if we're going to go out to an event right now, like in East London, for example, and you're in charge of our outfits from Paloccini, right? This is the task for you now. So it's me and Dave are going to go out to the club, right, in East London, and you're in charge of our outfits, and it can only be from Paloccini. What are we wearing? Go.
So, I think we'd have to find out what because you see, like I said, we're all about making a statement, and you can make a statement crying out loud, screaming, or you can, just lay back and just go, you can either scream out loud, or you can pretty much just blend in. But either way, you can make a statement. So it would depend. Well, what's your style? What's your style in relation to what I just said?
Black. Anything black, or like no. I'm not a lot of colors person. I'm usually neutral colors.
Neutral colors. Okay, cool. Yeah. So for that, we'll have. We've got the Paloccini. We've got the Paloccini classics.
Well, wait. You wait right there. All right, so I've got your website up here. Can you see that as well, Dave? Yeah, okay, he's nodded. Maldini, you can see this too, because this is paloccini.com/collections shop-all. What are you picking for me, mate?
So
I
think you should go the one
you're
with
on
the
mute,
goats.
Maldini.
Go for the one with the goats on it.
so if you go down, if you scroll down, so right there, that Paloccini Classics jumper.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that suits you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm wearing this then.
You're wearing that, yep. With
Yeah, I'm definitely So that's okay, because you know what? Classic is the most simplest. What's Dave wearing?
Dave, do you know he's going to be standing out?
I'm regretting this already.
So Dave is going to be rocking the Paloccini checkers sweatshirt. Just
Woo! Yeah, now we're talking. Yeah, check that out, Dave.
You know, this reminds me of is that year we got Alex that Doge t-shirt for a laugh.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Doge t-shirt.
Years ago.
No, I don't remember that.
There's just a dogs on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but no, I'd wear that. Why not? It looks pretty boss.
Well, we've definitely got the tops concerned. Are there any accessories that we should be taking into the club as well?
We've got a couple of hats.
Ooh, look at these. That's an off-white, but if I'm wearing black, I think I want to look for something else now.
Would you go with a black hat?
So for audio listeners, by the way, we are just currently browsing on Maldini's beloved Paloccini.com website, and we found a. Oh, okay. Now this one's banging.
I like that.
This one's really.
I love hats. It's totally my thing. I really like hats for some reason.
I really like the little O. It's really good. Yeah, that's a nice one. And Dave, thank you for sending the Doge t-shirt. I don't remember that.
Do you remember this? It was so funny.
Okay, so I'm not taking that hat, but I'm definitely taking the other one. Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah, so I'm definitely taking that one. Hold up, hang on. Maldini, unmute yourself for a second. Explain to me this one. Woo-hoo! Look at this one. That is.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. That's a silk satin bomber. It's part of the Paloccini in-house collection.
The back's pretty sick. I like that actually.
Wow. Oh, what? It's sold out.
It is a beauty.
Oh man. Yeah, I feel like I'm. That's like a piece of art right there. My goodness.
I want to get one with the goats on it. Just saying. I'd rock that.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because even the goats got little name tags, I think, from what I can understand.
Wait, hang on. Are we looking at the back here? And then this is the front.
That's the back of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that as well. Yeah, these are some really good. All right, so we're gonna come back to that, but I'm gonna move on to my next question, Maldini. But I tell you what, we're going into the club, Dave. We're looking fine. Like we're looking really
sexy
fine.
Shit. Yeah, man.
Whew. Yeah, I tell you. But no,
no tight pants either. We've got to remember that lesson.
Mate, we're gonna be looking great. I'll tell you. No, but I'm gonna move on to this is a rather deep question. It's got a bit of context to it, but I digress. So let me just quickly get this. So it's a bit of a paragraph, but I'll tell you. So there's a recent video about an artist called Lefty Gunplay, in LA by Channel 5, which is by Andrew Callahan. And Andrew Callahan interviews a fashion designer known as Desto Dub, who runs the brand That's an Awful Lot of Cough Syrup. Don't ask me why. That's just what it's called. But anyway, so the brand That's an Awful Lot of Cough Syrup rose to prominence in LA due to his collaborative works with Lil Pump and LA Street Rap, which quickly made his clothing brand a must-wear clothing item. Desto Dub, who mentions something along the lines, because I had to quote him literally, so it was quite hard, but Desto Dub, the fashion designer, who mentions something along the lines of, quote, "It's really simple. If you have 10 kids who want to be a rapper or an athlete, the chances are pretty slim if you want to be successful unless you're like super slim, super tall, super fast, super quick. But the chances of you getting the product, spending the money to promote it all of that quick, but the chances are of you getting the, and I'm reading that again, spending the money to promote it all of that time. Let's just say, are you trying to get a feature with Lil Baby? Let's say you took your clothes and you paid him to wear your clothes instead of getting a feature. Your shoes, you have a higher return. Products and shit like that make way more money, but the job doesn't look as cool. So the people that's doing it, they don't be paying attention to it. That's why we're trying to change that shit. You can look cool like the rappers, like the athletes, and really have a product," end quote. Essentially, it's the idea that whilst others are chasing the fame and fortune, those who become fashion designers, or let's say facilitators, have the real access. What do you think about that, Maldini?
Well, there's a lot of truth into it, isn't it? Um, like I mentioned earlier when we started, um, back in the day, it was pretty much about wearing your Air Forces, um, just the latest trends and what's out there. Um, once your brand becomes something that everyone wants to mess with, I guess, or wants to wear, then people would want to be part of that special thing, isn't it?
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I mean that's the stage of where every creator wants to be at.
And it's an interesting context in regards to those who wants to be. I mean, I guess we could actually even say this with like DJs and artists and stuff like that, because everyone wants to be the superstar DJ, the big celebrity or whatever. They want to be in front of all the headline crowds. However, that can seem like success to a lot of people, but then there could be people in the background who are the studio engineers and they have a complete career and they are 100% successful because they do all the gear, they lease it all out, and so on and so on. Essentially, as the facilitator, it's the most what am I saying? It's the facilitator. I've lost my words. The
You can do
facilitator
it.
is like the
Just keep going.
under no. Underrated. What are your thoughts on that, Maldini? Do you think that's the case?
Sorry, can you just ask your question again?
Yeah, no, I was going on a tangent there, and I kind of stopped, and I kind of ran out of steam. Um, the
I've got.
idea that
Okay, go
everyone's
on.
trying to get rich and famous,
yeah,
and yet no one thinks about like being the facilitator, like doing the grafting behind the scenes to enable someone to be rich and famous, and whereas at the same time you're getting an equal amount of healthier financial success.
yeah. I mean, that's why you've got a dream, isn't it? Um, a lot of us have dreams, but we don't have that courage to put it into action. A lot of the people, let's say Paloccini just started. In the future, will be of course looking to hire the best that there is to help us navigate this busy world. So we're gonna have people who are, really well versed in business. Um, and those are individuals that can take the brand onto the next level, or the ideal of where we're trying to reach, right? Um,
Mm.
a person like that has all the tools to work with. But of course, if you're stuck in a place where there's only so much you can do, there's only so much you can in terms of like progression or moving up, then it's not going to be so beneficial to you, is it? Where we falter, where we falter as a society is that a lot of us have a lot of dreams, man. We want to set up stuff, you know. You're there working for someone, but you're too afraid to get out there and get noticed. I'm doing this interview. I wasn't prepared, but I know it's an opportunity to get my brand out there. You see, and that comes with its benefit. And so, yeah, look, it is what it is. Those who are good at what they do, you know, if you don't dream, you're just gonna end up doing bringing someone else's dream to life, I suppose.
Yeah. And I know one thing is you've got to keep dreams alive.
Absolutely.
Not just for the short term, but for the long term as well. So that's one thing I've learned throughout my sort of career is that you might have a dream that starts out one way, and then over the years you keep it alive by evolving it and building things on it and things like that, right? So yeah, really do appreciate that.
Yeah, and that comes with time. There's a lot of pressure out there whereby, you know, people I know a lot of people that started their own brands, and it was pretty much, you know, they set up something now or today, and they're out there expecting it to be fruitful tomorrow. And a lot of these have, you know, they're no longer in the market because they haven't really had they didn't really invest the time and the effort to go through things, to take the brand from, you know, its inception stage through the turbulence and onto maturity. You see, I remember one of my friends. He was doing he what was he doing? He had a brand selling hats. His designs were nice and stuff like that. Some of them were pretty nice, but it's just a thing of starting, and then perhaps you don't get as many likes as you think you should be getting on social media, and so you just get you know, disheartened at the beginning. Yeah, but
I tell you that. I mean, that's a sort of question. I suppose it's like really weird. It's like, how do you find like how social media incorporates into that? So, for example, getting a like on social media, compared to getting a like from someone in person and someone really appreciating it, you know, up front. Because it feels like in the dance music industry, everything's social media likes.
Yeah.
And I'm finding in the music world more and more now, less and less people actually approach you and they say, you know what, I really actually enjoyed what you did there, or I really enjoyed that. Do you know what I mean? Like that personal touch.
Yeah, feedback's rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Well, with the clothing section or industry, I mean, as with everything else, we're trying to make a profit, isn't it? It's all about making a sale. One like on Insta, it's okay. So someone liked your post, you know. So what? Ultimately, you know, it's about making that sale. Well, building a following. Building a following. Whereby you got people that believe in the vision that you've got, believe in the dream that you've got, they like your designs and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, social media it's important, but sometimes we give too much, we pay too much attention to all of that, especially at the start, and a lot of people get disheartened. Like I said, you know, not enough likes are coming in, you know, what are you gonna do? But it's just perseverance, I suppose.
all
That's
doom and
interesting.
gloom. If you haven't got enough likes, it's all doom and gloom. One of the things I wanted to ask you actually, which is kind of you may have already answered this, but enlighten me anyway. But my question initially was, what's a challenge of being a fashion designer or clothing brand that people might not be aware of? Obviously, aside from social media.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. There's there's a lot to running a fashion business, as opposed to what people see on social media. I suppose the backstage stuff of it, the day to day running of the business, um, the market inside of it. I'm dealing with supplier or delivery issues. Um, these things require a lot of work, a lot of attention. Um, and so designing clothes and stuff like that, it's all nice, but there's much more to it. Much more to it. I suppose one of the challenges is just balancing creativity with real, well, I suppose real um, business sense. I suppose, because sometimes, especially with creative people, we tend to spend a lot of time on making sure that things are perfect, or you get lost in details, and you kind of leave out the other more important things of the business that will actually make you bring in a sale. And so that's
Like working on the
one of
80-20, working on that 80-20 concept sort of thing a little bit, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Just before we wrap up your interview, mate, there are a few other. There's obviously some self-promoting questions coming to you very very shortly. But one of the questions I also just wanted to quickly ask you, and again, it sort of relates to fashion trends. But what I want to know from you is, what is a fashion trend that's come in or that you've noted that you think is either really bizarre or it's something you just don't understand?
I think that would come from Balenciaga, really.
Oh,
They've been
yeah.
coming out with some dodgy stuff, man. I've seen like a Tesco bag or, or something like that, and they maxed out the price for it. I mean, would you walk down the road with a Tesco looking bag, and would you pay like £1,000 for it? I mean,
I
I
need to
get
see
it.
this now.
You've got to push the envelope. You've got to stretch it. You've got to stretch the envelope, right? That's what fashion is all about. But as of recent, I think um, pretty much anything. The mindset has been anything goes. We'll try our luck. If it works, it works. But I suppose once you're well established, anything can work really. But the dodgy bags, they've been horrendous, man.
Yeah, I've just found a quick Reddit post about this. Dave Collins, are you buying this?
To carry my shopping. Yeah,
Mate, Dave, it's £925.
that's a lot of shopping.
Yeah, I mean,
That is literally a Tesco bag. That's crazy, man.
look at that thing.
Oh, God.
Oh,
You know what it reminds me of? Not that it's like, if you guys know your artwork, very
yeah.
famous work, comedian, if you know what that is.
No.
So
Wait, which one? Which one?
you'll probably know when I explain it. It's the guy that duct taped a banana to a wall,
Oh, yeah.
and it sold for 62 million,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when you see fashion like plastic Tesco bag, it's actually right. It feels more like an art piece than anything else. Do you know what I mean?
I just think, imagine trying to get into the club and people think you literally have a Tesco bag. You're like, yeah,
I
quite a
love
good,
it.
mate.
It'd be great.
Put it in the cloakroom. If we get nicked.
And that's actually a question I wanted to ask, Maldini. So, obviously, we talk a lot about dance music on this sort of podcast and stuff. Where do you think fashion and dance music culture overlap? Like, what's the sort of thing there? What sort of fashion trends do you think came from the dance music sphere? And how do you think the two sort of align with each other? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Dance music.
Yeah.
Like in
Yeah.
clubs and
Like
festivals.
clubs, festivals.
Right. Well. hmm
Well, I was just going to say, I think one of the things that I'll definitely say is, as an observation, I've always noticed that like techno is always black t-shirts.
Right.
Like that's a thing. I don't know why. It always is. Like that's what everyone does. Is it quite literally following the crowd in these senses? Mind you, though, actually, hang on, Maldini, do you go to clubs very often?
No, not much. I'm not much of a club.
Oh, fair enough.
Mind you, though, actually, you've actually answered your question very well because you're busy being a fashion designer. That's probably why he's not going to clubs very often. And actually, in
Yeah,
closing, 'cause
no,
we've got-
I used to back in the day, but my time as a party animal has come to an end, unfortunately.
well, we beg to differ because I'm sure if Paloccini's going to have any parties anytime soon, you're going to be the main man. Now,
But yeah,
actually, we've
Sure
got about
thing.
4 minutes left for our episode. So just quickly, whilst we have you, Maldini, the upcoming future of Paloccini for your brand and anything else you want to mention about Paloccini, let us know and let everyone know right now.
Yeah, I mean the goal is to slowly build the brand by just create pieces that align with our values. Um, and we've got a couple of collaborations coming up. I can't talk too much on that at the moment. But simply the goal is to build a following, you know, um, share our creativity with the world, and funny enough, we've got a couple of sustainability or CSR projects that we're working on. I don't know if you went through the website. We've got the thing called Paloccini Initiative, where we help with the conservation of the endangered giant sable in Angola. So that is something that we're going to be looking to do. Just link up with charities that support the cause of the conservation and preservation of its natural habitats and stuff like that. And yeah, so that's pretty much in a nutshell of what's coming up.
That's really exciting, actually, mate. And actually, I'm just reading on this as well. It actually fits in quite nicely in an envelope in the sense of it kind of comes back to the beginning when we were talking about your inspirations with nature, animals, and your natural surroundings, and so on. Just very quickly, as we just quickly wrap up this interview, can I just stick you on mute for the very last few minutes, Maldini? But what I'll quickly just mention, for those of you who are obviously just tuning in just to the audio version, we would strongly recommend, obviously, looking up Paloccini. You can look up Paloccini via Instagram, which is at House of Paloccini. Paloccini is spelled Paloccini. And if you're wanting to cop, and if you've seen, if a video viewers, if for viewers who want to see, obviously the website is paloccini.com. That is spelled again Paloccini. And of course, as we've mentioned here, for the people that are looking as well, that also includes the Paloccini Initiative as well. That's one of the things that they have recently started, where it's all about it says here, Meets Conservation Harbour, passion project dedicated to protecting the rare and majestic giant sable of Angola. All I can say is, Maldini, it's been great seeing you, mate, because I haven't seen you in years, because we used to work together. Well, I won't go much into that, but really appreciate you having on the show, and it's been great to... You're actually our first guest, but it's been great to have you on the show, so I appreciate that as well. We'll have to say quick goodbyes to you, Maldini, because we've got about 20 seconds left.
Well, no. Thank you so much for having me.
No, you're very welcome, mate. Thank you very much, Maldini. Well, speak to you soon. I'll message you in a minute.
Cool.
Take care, mate.
Cheers.
And
so quickly. No, wait, Dave. We need to do the closing. I've only got 10 seconds. I know.
See ya.
To end it. See you later, guys.